નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. Welcome students to 11th part of 11th chapter, area and its boundary of standard 5th mathematics. In the last part we discussed or we solved the exercise on the page number 156, Save the Birds. But today we are going to discuss King's story, which is on the page number 157. So first of all, open page number 157 in your textbook and keep a sharpened pencil, a rub book also with you, so that you can solve these things with myself. Okay, so let's start King's story. The king was very happy with carpenters Chegu and Anar. They had made a very big and beautiful bed for him. The king was very happy with the carpenters named Chegu and Anar. Why? Because they made very big and beautiful bed for him. So as gifts, the king wanted to give some land to Chegu. The king wanted to give some land to Chegu and some gold to Anar. So let's see what king said. Chegu, take as much as land as what comes within 100 meters of wire. What king told to Chegu? First of all, try to understand. Take as much as land what comes within 100 meters of wire. Okay, so that king gave him 100 meters of wire and he told that take as much as land come within 100 meters of wire. Now Chegu was happy. He took 100 meters of wire and tried to make different rectangles. Now Chegu was not that much literal, so he was trying to make some rectangles. Suppose he made 100 meter multiplied by 40 meter rectangle. Now 100 meter multiplied by means 100 meter by 40 meter rectangle. Its area was 400 square meters. 10 multiplied by 40 is equal to 400 square meters. Then, so he next made a 30 meter by 20 meter rectangle. So what is its area? Is it more than the first rectangle? So, see, Chegu made this first rectangle was 10 meter by 40 meter and its area was 400 square meter. Now area of rectangle, second rectangle he made was 30 meter by 20 meter. So the area, now 30 meter by 20 meter, let me make you understand. It can be written like this only, 30 m multiplied by 20 m, and that means what? Length is 30 meter and the breadth is 20 meter, like that. You should understand. And we know to find out the area of a rectangle is equal to length multiplied by breadth. That is, length multiplied by breadth is equal to 600 square meter. Now the another question is it more than first rectangle? Yeah. See, first rectangle, the area of first rectangle was 400 square meter, while the area of this rectangle, the second one, is 600 square meter. That is why we can say it is more than the first rectangle. Next, what other rectangle can he make with 100 meter of wire? Discuss which of these rectangle will have the biggest area. So let's assume, see, we have to assume that. So whatever you can, I assume 3 rectangles. Let's go for that. So let me tell you, he made 3 more rectangles. rectangles, है ना, 3 more rectangles. With that, yes, he can make other 3 rectangles like this way. Suppose rectangle of 45 meter by 5 meter, rectangle of 45 meter by 5 meter. Then the area of this rectangle will be length multiplied by breadth, that is 45 meter by 5 meter is equal to 225 square meter. Then the other rectangle, suppose rectangle B of 35 meter by 15 meter, then the area of this rectangle will be length multiplied by breadth, that is 35 meter by 15 meter by multiplied by 15 meter is equal to 525 meters, square meters. And the third rectangle, C rectangle of 25 meter by 25 meter. The length of the area of this one is length multiplied by breadth, 25 meter by 25 meter is equal to 625 square meter. Okay. Discuss which of these rectangle will have the biggest area. Then we can see out of this C rectangle will have the biggest area. Why? Because its area is 625 square meter. Then you can see Chegu's wife asked him to make a circle with a wire. Now Chegu's wife advised him that you do one thing, you go for the circle with a wire. She knew it had an area of 800 square meters. Now Chegu's wife was aware if he will draw a circle with a wire, then the area of that wire will be 800 square meters. Now 800 square meter area is more than all the squares. 800 square meter is more than 400, 600 and all the squares. That is why Chegu's wife asked him to go for draw a circle with a wire. Why did Chegu not choose a rectangle? Explain. Okay. See, the area of this wire is 800 square meter. That Chegu's wife was aware. That is why the biggest area of rectangle is 625. Out of all this rectangle, biggest is 625. If he make a circle, it has area of 800 square meter. It is bigger than the all these rectangles. So it is better to go for this circle only, na? That is why Chegu did not choose a rectangle. Then, so that Chegu period that is over. Now, okay, Chegu has taken 800 square meters. That king is telling at the bottom of the page. Okay, Chegu has taken 800 square meters of land. Anar, now I will give you as much gold wire as which can make a boundary for land with area 800 square meters. Now see, we were discussing about Chegu. Now he was given a wire, that was boundary. He can make a boundary, and out of that boundary, length and width, he has to take area. He has to take area. We know that the area is what? Suppose this. Then this is a boundary and this inner side is an area. Now, the king told that now I will give you as much gold wire as which can make a boundary for land 800 square meter. So now he has 800 square meter of area. Now, if we can make the longer boundary, then he will get more gold wire. I hope you must be understand. Now, he has to take the wire, length of the wire. Why? Because boundary is what? 10 meter. So if the boundary is biggest, then he will get more wire. Why? Because he has to go for the boundary. So let's go further on the next page. So Anar also tried many different ways to make a boundary for 800 square meter of land. He made rectangle ABC of different sizes. Find out the length of boundary of each. How much gold wire will he get for these rectangles? Now you can see in your textbook, you can see A, rectangle A, in which the length and width is 40 meter by 20 meter. So we know the length 40 meter, the width 20 meter. Now we have to find out the boundary for that. Now boundary is what? Perimeter. So the perimeter of rectangle, we know that the perimeter of rectangle, how to find out that formula is 2 into bracket length plus breadth, isn't it? Okay. So A, you can see on the page number 158. For A, the rectangle A was 40 meter by 20 meter. So length is 40 meter, breadth is 20 meter. Okay, so gold wire required for A, or we can say the length of the gold wire for A, rectangle A, is what? Boundary. Boundary is what? Perimeter. Perimeter is what? 2 into bracket length plus breadth. Okay, so 2 into bracket length is what? 40, breadth is what? 20. So 40 plus 20, 60. 60 twos are 120 meter. Okay, then you can see B, rectangle B, which is 80 meter by 10 meter. The area of that, or length and breadth of that rectangle is 80 meter by 10 meter. So length of the gold wire required for rectangle B is equal to 2 into bracket 80 plus 10, 90. 2s are 180 meter. So the gold wire required for rectangle B, length of the gold wire is 180 meter. See, this is more than 120. Now let's think for C, rectangle C. Its length is 800 meter and breadth is 1 meter. See, area for this rectangle is already 800 meter only, and 800 square meter. Why? Because 800 multiplied by 1 is equal to 800 square meter. You can see here also, in B also, you can see the area for this rectangle B will be, I am talking about area. Area means what? Length multiplied by breadth. 80 multiplied by 10 will be 800 only. And this rectangle also have 800 square meter area only. Why? Because 40 multiplied by 10 will 4 2s are 800 square meter. So all rectangles have area is 800 square meter only, but boundary different. See, here the boundary is 180 meter, here 120 meter, 180 meter. Now the boundary for this rectangle of area 800, but the rectangle is length is 800 meter, width is 1 meter only. That is why the gold wire for C, length of the gold wire will be 2 into bracket 800 plus 1 is 801, and the length multiplied by 2 is equal to 1602 meter. How much long is it? Do you know? See, this is 1602. 1000 meter is equal to 1 kilometer. So 1 kilometer and 602 meters. That much length it is. Okay. So gold wire required like that. Now look into your textbook, but then Anar made an even longer rectangle. See how long it is. It was of rectangle. It was of 8,000 meter and 0.1 meter. Breadth is what? 0.1 meter. 0.1 meter is equal to 10 centimeter. Breadth is 10 centimeter. Okay, we are not going for 10 centimeter. It is 0.1 meter. So that is also rectangle, na? But the gold wire required for that rectangle will be, let's see. Gold wire required, the length of the gold wire for D is equal to 2 into bracket 800 the length plus the breadth 0.1 meter. And see 0.1, this sign, can you see this sign? Something different than the equal to sign. This sign is approximate sign. So the answer approximately, we are not taking this 0.1, and if we do not add this, then 2 into 8,000 is equal to 16,000 meter. See, you can see it is 1,602. It is 1,000 meter only. 1,602 means 1 kilometer and 602 meters. But it is 16,000 meters. 16,000 meters means 16 kilometers long wire, and that is too much. And that is why, see, you can see the king. Gosh, how can I give so much gold? Now, it is a problem or tension for the king also. Okay. Now, do you understand why the king fainted? Okay. So this was the story of a king. But you can see a bird. Can you make a rectangle with a still longer boundary? I made a rectangle 1 centimeter wide. See, this is 10 centimeter wide. 0.1 is 10 centimeter wide. But that bird is telling, can you make a rectangle with still longer boundary? I made a rectangle 1 centimeter wide and 80,000 meter long. Imagine how long that boundary will be. With that much gold wire, I can become the king. See, suppose, see, rectangle is 80,000 meter and 0.01 meter. Now, let me tell you the area for this rectangle. See, area is only 800 only. See, what is the area for this rectangle? Area for this rectangle is length multiplied by breadth, isn't it? So length is what? 80,000 multiplied by breadth is what? 0. I am writing here 0.01, isn't it? Is equal to, say, it may be outside of this boundary. That is why I am writing over here. So 80,000 multiplied by, this is length, this is breadth. Okay, is equal to what? Can you do this multiplication? Simplify this. Let me make you understand. See, this is 80,000 multiplied by I am writing multiplication over here. Multiplication sign over here. This side. 0.01 is what? See, point, decimal point, then after 2 digits. So this is 1, 01 is 1, and 2 digits means 102. So it is 800 square meter only. But the boundary, think about the boundary. It is 80,000 meter plus, as boundary is for 10 meter. 80,000 plus 0.01, that is 1 centimeter. 0.01 meter. So it is, let it be aside. Then 80,000 multiplied by 2. So it is approximately 1,60,000 meter. 1,60,000 meter. And that is how many kilometers, can you tell me? See, this is is 1000, keep it aside, then it is 160 kilometer. So wire required will be 160 kilometers long. That is also too much. Okay. So this was the story of king. Last part of this chapter. So with this we are ending this part as well as we are ending this chapter also. We'll meet you in the next chapter. The next chapter is which, do you know? 12th chapter, smart charts. Okay. But by this time we are going to end this chapter. Thank you. And if you could not, then watch these videos repeatedly. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Take care of yourselves and we'll meet you in the next session. Thank you.